7 years, over $500,000, 15 different doctors, and I kept getting worse until I discovered something that changed everything. I was doing the right things, but in the wrong order. And once I understood the sequence my body actually needed, everything shifted. Hi, I'm Victoria, and what I'm about to share isn't theory. It's what I lived in my body, my mind, and my soul for 7 years. If you've ever been sick for years, if you feel like you're doing everything right, but your body keeps betraying you, perhaps my story is your mirror, because what happened to me, it might be happening to you too. And understanding why changes everything. 2017, I was the definition of high achieving. I was working in the ER department, I had multiple medical school acceptances, I volunteered on weekends. On paper, perfect. On the inside, falling apart, because within weeks, 2 things shattered me: a devastating breakup and my uncle's suicide. And I didn't know how to process it, how to grieve, how to feel. So I did what high achievers do. I controlled harder. 4 hours at the gym every day, eating 1,200 calories every day. Every minute on my schedule was planned. I called it discipline, but it was survival. Because if I could control my body, maybe I wouldn't feel the pain. But here's what happens when you try to control your way through trauma. Your body stops listening. By late 2017, symptoms appeared: fatigue that sleep couldn't fix, random abdominal pain, unexplained weight gain, digestive chaos, and brain fog so thick I couldn't think. That scary moment when you realize something is really wrong. Then came the medical maze. 15 doctors, a lot of different diagnoses: IBS, insulin resistance, fibromyalgia, PCOS, adrenal fatigue, hypothyroidism, parasites, heavy metals, PTSD. Each diagnosis came with hope, but each outcome led to disappointment. Because here's the truth nobody told me. They treated parts of me, but never the whole person. They managed symptoms, but never asked what was driving them. So in 2019, there was a roof leak in my childhood home. That meant mold, and my body didn't just react, it revolted. I had a neurological crisis. I had shooting nerve pain, brain fog so severe I couldn't follow conversations, insomnia despite exhaustion, inflammation so bad I didn't recognize myself. But here's what was happening, and this is critical. My nervous system was locked into survival mode. Every sound was a threat. Every smell was a danger. Every sensation was a trigger. Now, your body isn't broken when this happens. It's protecting you. It just can't turn off the alarm. So 2020, I went all in. The world slowed down, but I sped up. I worked with 2 different integrative doctors. I did daily red light therapy and saunas and bi-weekly IV treatments that had glutathione, NAD, nutrients. I was on a strict carnivore diet. I tracked every biomarker. I spent hours on research, trying to find the perfect protocol, supplement, treatment. And I did so with such military level precision. And things got a little bit better, but never actually healed. One week it seemed I was improving. The next week I would just crash. So I made what seemed like the obvious move: naturopathic medical school. Because if I could just learn more and understand the science better and maybe find the root cause, maybe I can heal myself. So 2021, despite doing everything right, my body kept declining. And by August 2021, a naturopathic doctor confirmed another diagnosis: chronic late-stage Lyme disease that was misdiagnosed for 4 years. And I'm sorry, but it's incurable. And that moment was when my hope just died. So I withdrew from medical school. I packed everything and moved to Seattle, the Lyme specialist capital, and healing became my full-time job. I tried IV therapies, colonics, ozone saunas, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, craniosacral therapy, neurofeedback, Chinese medicine, energy healing, 30 to 40 supplements daily, hundreds of thousands of dollars, but nothing touched it. And here's what nobody tells you. When everything fails, it's not because you're not trying hard enough. You're missing something fundamental about how healing actually works. And I'm going to show you what that missing piece was in just a minute. But first, you need to understand how bad it got, because the lowest point is where everything finally made sense. 2022. This year nearly destroyed me because Seattle rains year-round, and I ended up moving 3 different times because each time there was a roof leak, which meant mold exposure 3 different times. And my neurological system just exploded. There were days my legs wouldn't respond. My right side was partially paralyzed. My hands were shaking so bad I couldn't even hold a cup. I had vision problems, hearing issues. And if you ever felt terrified of your own body, this was every day for me. I lost my health, my identity, my independence, my future, my trust in my body, my trust in doctors. This was my rock bottom. And here's what nobody calculates. The cost of staying sick isn't just money. It's lost years, lost energy, lost relationships, lost versions of yourself you'll never meet. I had already paid that cost for 7 years, and I refused to pay it for 1 more day. That's when everything changed. So, I ended up reading 2 books that changed my perspective. It's The Body Keeps the Score and You Are the Placebo. And I learned some very profound things. 1, unresolved trauma literally restructures your brain. 2, chronic stress dysregulates your nervous system. 3, when your body stays in survival, healing becomes impossible. And 4, your external condition is an echo of your internal conviction. If you wonder why symptoms persist despite doing everything right, this is why. I was trying to heal my body while my nervous system screamed danger. I was taking supplements while my subconscious believed I was still broken. I was following protocols while my identity was still the sick girl. My body was simply reflecting that truth. And here's what shifted. In 2023, I moved back to Southern California, where there was sunshine, family, safety, and instead of trying to fix myself, I became someone different. Not through force, but through alignment. And I did this through daily meditation to rest my body and my mind, breath work to reset the nervous system, energy healing to reconnect to the frequency of vitality, clinical hypnosis to rewrite subconscious patterns in my identity, and embodiment practices to feel safe again. So by the end of 2023, I started to rebuild my life. I enrolled in a master's program in applied psychophysiology, the science of brain-body communication. I became a Reiki master, and I learned this important principle. Your identity is the thermostat of your health. If your identity is sent to sick, your biology will return you to sick. When your identity upgrades and aligns to the energetic frequency of health and vitality, your biology will follow. So things began to shift. Not because I found magic supplements, not because I pushed harder, but because I stopped fighting myself. And by 2024, my brain fog went from 8 out of 10 to 2 out of 10. My energy went from 2 hours upright to full days. My neurological symptoms released completely within 6 months. I started to walk again. I started lifting weights at the gym. I was able to think clearly and live fully. And by the end of 2025, I completed my master's degree, my clinical hypnosis certification, and my advanced energy healing training. And I finally saw the pattern nobody teaches. You can't heal your body while your mind is at war. You can't detox while your nervous system screams threat. You can't take supplements while your subconscious believes you're broken. You can't chase protocols while your identity is wired for survival. There's a sequence your body must follow, and when you honor that sequence, healing stops being a mystery and it becomes a system. Here's what I discovered. Most people start at the wrong place. They start with supplements, labs, detoxes, protocols, the physical layer. But your body can't respond to physical interventions when it doesn't feel safe. The sequence that actually works is first, your nervous system must shift out of survival mode. Second, your subconscious identity must update from sick to healed. Third, your physical body can now finally respond to protocols. So it's not about trying harder. It's about doing things in the right order. When you skip the first 2 steps, nothing in step 3 will stick. That's why your protocols keep failing. Not because they're wrong, because your system isn't ready. So, if you're exhausted from fighting, if you feel like you're doing everything right but your body won't cooperate, you are not broken. You are not beyond healing. Your body is not attacking you. It's protecting you from perceived threats. And when you learn your body's language, when you create true nervous system safety, when your identity shifts from sick person seeking healing to person who is already healed, everything changes. So I created something for you, a free live masterclass where I walk you through the complete framework, the neuroscience, the psychology, and the exact sequence your body needs. And it's called the healing hierarchy, why your body won't heal in the exact sequence that changes everything. In the first 20 minutes alone, you'll discover why your HRV score predicts your healing capacity in the 60-second technique that flips the switch, the subconscious patterns keeping you in the sick identity, and how to reprogram it using clinical hypnosis, and why detox protocols backfire when your nervous system is dysregulated, and a safe sequence that works. By the full 60-minute masterclass, we will cover the invisible nervous system patterns blocking healing, how to shift from survival mode to repair mode, the identity reprogramming sequence that makes protocols finally work, and the exact order your system needs, and why skipping steps guarantees it's not going to work. This is critical. I'm only running this live a few more times before it becomes a paid course. So a registration link is below. And one more thing, if you struggle with sleep, and most of us with chronic illness do, I created a guided meditation infused with clinical hypnosis and Reiki. It's designed to help your nervous system drop from survival mode into repair mode. Download it free, use it tonight. Your story doesn't end in illness. Your story begins the moment you understand this. Healing isn't a mystery you have to solve. It's a sequence you need to follow. And that sequence, I'm teaching it in the 60 minutes. Everything you need to know is in that masterclass. I'll see you there.